Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and peel back the layers of the ultimate sci-fi dream, the robotic butler, to see what is actually going on here. We've all seen the movies, right? The perfectly autonomous, incredibly helpful android just seamlessly taking care of the laundry, cooking our meals, navigating our homes like it's nothing. Well, a company backed by OpenAI, 1X Technologies, is saying that future isn't some distant decades-away fantasy. It's practically tomorrow thanks to their new Neo robot. But you know the reality of bringing this bleeding-edge technology into your actual living room? It's incredibly fascinating, a little bit messy, and for sure, highly controversial.
Wall Street Journal tech columnist Joanna Stern actually got up close and personal with the Neo, and her observation here just completely hits the nail on the head. It cuts right to the core of how this tech functions today. We're being promised this fully autonomous robot maid, but for the immediate future, what you're actually getting is more like a highly advanced mechanical puppet. And that distinction, that whole human-in-the-loop thing, changes absolutely everything about how we're going to interact with it.
Section 1. The first home robot, moving from the lab to the living room.
So 1X is aggressively pushing to get this tech out of the lab and into our daily lives. And they're starting with a $20,000 price tag, or a $499 monthly subscription. That price point is super strategic. I mean, it's basically the price of a compact car. For wealthy early adopters, tech enthusiasts, or folks who genuinely need accessibility assistance, 20 grand is a discretionary budget they're totally willing to drop to be on the cutting edge. And hey, if you don't want to buy it outright, that $499 lease option with a 6-month minimum commitment gets the robot through your front door, making the whole thing accessible to a slightly wider demographic.
But let's really look at this roadmap for a second. Pre-orders are live right now. You can go put down your deposit today, and the first consumer shipments are supposed to arrive in the US in Q3 of 2026. But check out that final milestone. Near full autonomy for routine tasks, that isn't even slated until 2028 or beyond. Think about what that actually means. For the first few years of owning this incredibly expensive machine, it's essentially in a massive learning phase. You are essentially paying to be part of an active beta test right inside your own home.
Section 2. The teleoperation catch. The Wizard of Oz reality of early home robotics.
Which naturally begs the question, when this thing finally arrives in your living room next year, is it actually doing the chores by itself? If it encounters, say, a cluttered floor or a weirdly shaped laundry basket, does it know what to do? The short answer is mostly no. At launch, Neo will be able to handle basic navigation. Maybe it can open a standard door or grab a super simple object. But for the complex tasks you actually bought it for, the AI just isn't quite there yet.
So the secret sauce here lies in teleoperation. 1X commercially brands this as expert mode. Basically, a human being literally puts on a VR headset somewhere to drive your robot. If Neo gets stuck trying to fold your laundry or figure out a mess on the counter, it pings the 1X server. Then, a highly trained human operator somewhere in the world takes over, seeing through Neo's cameras and controlling its hands to finish the job for you. This service is fully included in the purchase price, acting as a bridge to give you actual utility on day one, while the AI's brain catches up.
Because of this setup, early adopters are going to rely heavily, and I mean heavily, on these remote human pilots to get practically anything complex done. During her hands-on review, Joanna Stern noted that every single complex action she saw, from handing over an object to moving around the room, was guided by a skilled human pilot. But this human-in-the-loop strategy, that's 1X's core bet. They firmly believe you cannot train an AI to clean a house in some sterile, perfect lab. You have to train it in messy, unpredictable real-world homes.
And to manage our expectations, 1X is using this amazingly evocative term, robotic slop, meaning the tasks are imperfect but still useful. A shirt is folded, sure, but maybe an arm is hanging out. The dishes get stacked, but it's a little haphazard. It's clunky, but it helps. And here's the genius part. Every single time that human teleoperator steps in to correct the robot's mistake, all that video and movement data is fed directly into Neo's Redwood AI model. It creates this massive data flywheel, making the entire global fleet of robots just a little bit smarter every single day.
Okay, Section 3. Tendon-driven tech specs. Built for the home, not the factory. Now, setting the brain aside, the physical engineering here is absolutely jaw-dropping. The Neo weighs only 66 pounds. Think about that for a second. 66 pounds. It's explicitly built with a soft body to ensure that it's safe if it accidentally falls on you or, your pet.
If a 150-pound industrial robot trips in your kitchen, that is incredibly dangerous. But by keeping Neo's weight super low and covering its mechanics in a layered 3D lattice polymer mesh, which is basically a soft, padded sweater, 1X ensures the robot is inherently compliant. It physically yields upon contact.
And despite that lightweight, 66-pound frame, this thing has an insane power-to-weight ratio. It can actually lift 154 pounds. So how is that physically possible? Well, instead of using heavy, rigid harmonic drive motors at every single joint, Neo uses a tendon-driven system that's loosely inspired by human biology and our own muscles. The heavy motors sit right in the torso, and they pull on tendons to move those lightweight limbs. This makes the robot ridiculously strong for its size, but it also means it moves silently. It operates at just 22 decibels, which is roughly the hum of a quiet refrigerator. No loud mechanical whirring in your living room.
This design choice beautifully illustrates how 1X is zigging while competitors are zagging. Take the Tesla Optimus, for example. It weighs almost double what Neo weighs and relies heavily on those rigid motors. Optimus is being built for the factory floor first, aiming straight for total AI autonomy. Neo, on the other hand, is explicitly designed for the messy, delicate, unpredictable environment of human living spaces. It's actively trading sheer industrial stamina for safety and human-level 22 degrees of freedom hand dexterity.
Section 4. The privacy trade-off. The cost of inviting a connected camera into your home.
So, having a stranger in a VR headset looking into your living room? Yeah, that brings up some tension. 1X CEO Bernd Bornick argues that to get a truly useful robot, you have to be totally okay with a new social contract. He frames it using this fascinating metaphor, the big sister principle. He's being very upfront here. If you buy this in 2026, you are agreeing to stream your home life to their servers. But he says it's a helpful sibling, looking out for you, learning to assist, rather than a big brother surveillance state, monitoring your every move. But wow, that requires a massive leap of faith from the consumer, doesn't it? Because, objectively speaking, privacy experts are quick to point out the severe vulnerabilities that come with this territory. Analysts from Captain Compliance noted that a robot roaming your house packed with 5G, Wi-Fi, cameras, and microphones is basically a rolling surveillance device. If the data streams aren't perfectly encrypted, or if a hacker somehow intercepts that remote control feed, a bad actor could literally joyride a robot through your home. Plus, streaming video of your private living room to servers in Norway or the US for AI training opens up a massive can of worms regarding international data laws. Now, to neutrally present the other side of this, 1X hasn't ignored these fears. They've implemented some very specific software safeguards. For starters, you can designate digital boundaries, software no-go zones, so the robot physically cannot enter a bedroom or a bathroom while being teleoperated. The software is also designed to automatically blur human faces to protect your family's identity from the remote pilot. And, perhaps most crucially, a human operator cannot just drop into your robot unannounced. It requires your explicit approval on your phone app. So, it's this very delicate balance between gathering the essential training data they need and respecting the sanctity of your home.
Finally, Section 5. The Neo meme coin craze. The unpredictable human element of crypto markets.
We absolutely have to talk about the bizarre cultural shockwave this robot created. A Neo-themed crypto meme coin created entirely by internet degens completely exploded. It surged an absurd 5,100% in a single day. This happened right after 1X released their polished, futuristic commercial for Neo, which racked up something like 15 million views. Completely independent of 1X, crypto speculators launched the Neo 1X companion token on the Solana network. And the market just went totally feral over it.
And honestly, it brilliantly illustrates how the hype around embodied AI isn't just about buying hardware anymore. These narratives are blending directly with wildly volatile crypto speculation. The idea that science fiction is finally becoming reality is so powerful that people are scrambling to invest in literally anything tangentially related to the brand, even unofficial super volatile meme assets. It just proves that the cultural impact of a home robot is already extending way, way beyond its actual physical capabilities.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought about the true cost of bringing this sci-fi future into your home today. The 1X Neo is, without a doubt, an absolute marvel of tendon-driven engineering, and it's an incredibly bold bet on human-in-the-loop AI training. But to get that magical autonomous robot from the movies, you first have to invite a remote stranger into your living room and hand over your household data. So I ask you, is the convenience of a sloppily folded shirt and a swept floor actually worth signing that social contract?